그리고 잠시 후
Israeli of white phosphorus.
Israel.
War crimes.
Israel.
Israel is deeply sorry.
In the name of humanity, what is Israel doing?
Blitzkrieg against the Palestinians in Gaza, which in my judgment is an Israeli concentration camp where 1.5 million people are locked up, cannot come out or go in. They've been controlling food, electricity, fuel, and the innocent people in Gaza are the ones suffering.
We have nothing to do with this. We don't fire rockets. We don't know what this war is about.
The borders have also been the only place journalists can work from, since Israel have been banning them from entering Gaza for 2 months now.
This is the head of the Red Cross mission in Gaza and the head of the Red Cross mission in Jerusalem. These people are not in the business of propaganda. Can you explain to people why on earth Israeli Defense Forces wish to interfere and prevent the Red Cross reaching dead and wounded civilians?
You knew where all the UN facilities were because the UN had told you long before you decided to invade Gaza.
This evidence directly contradicts an Israeli report which challenged allegations that the building was deliberately targeted and specifically stated there was no evidence of an airstrike. Judge Goldstone used the account of the airstrike as a sign that Israel's attack on the mill, which was the only operational mill in Gaza, was not mere collateral damage but precisely targeted and a possible war crime. Any country that is a signatory to the Geneva Convention can try to prosecute individuals who took part in the Gaza war as culpable of crimes against humanity.
Mark Regev, you knew exactly what this building was, whether or not people near it were attacking your forces or defending themselves against your forces. You knew what you were doing when you hit it, didn't you?
This is definitely a mistake. We did not target this building.
You did not target it, even though you had guided missiles. This was not targeted.
The constant accusations of anti-Semitism, when no such sentiment exists, to silence Israel's critics.
Mr. Regev, for 3 days the Red Cross couldn't get to a situation where there were starving children sitting next to the corpses of their mothers. A lot of our viewers will be saying, in the name of humanity, what kind of government allows its soldiers to stop the RC getting to those people?
Meanwhile, Israel continues its bombardment of the Gaza Strip.
Yes, since the rebirth of Israel, one commitment remained firm, profound, unshakable: the alliance between Israel and the United States of America.
I hope Israel flourishes. I just don't think it's worth an American life or an American dollar.
What we need is international law being recognized that Israel is an occupying power.
Israel, despite the fact it is a relatively rich country, receives more foreign aid than any other country in the world. We veto resolutions in the United Nations all the time that are critical of Israel.
Ceux qui sont contre.
The King's Torah, a settler rabbi, publishes the complete guide to killing Gentiles who threaten Israel, including children and babies. Are such calls harmless, or do they drive official policy and manipulate the masses?
Actions that killed and injured women and children and men in their homes.
Political people say whatever they want. The problem is not political but religious. With a minute, people are becoming religiously fanatic. Reason is becoming irrelevant. They do it for religious purpose, fanatic.
The former Israeli General Nehemiah Dagan, who for many years was in charge of army education, says mixing religion with military can be a dangerous mix. A common theme in religious Zionism, where serving in the army is a form of religious duty.
It says in the Torah that we have to go to the army.
By publishing a new book in which he appears to authorize the killing of non-Jews who are accused of posing a threat to Israel. The book, called The King's Torah, contains quotations from the Talmud, a scholarly Jewish text, to which the rabbi adds his own opinions and interpretations. In a chapter entitled The Killing of Gentiles in Wartime, the rabbi writes, "In any circumstances where the presence of a Gentile causes danger to Israel, it is permitted to kill the Gentile." In addition, he says, in cases where there is a strong suspicion that someone will continue persecuting Jews, it is permissible to kill him even if at this moment he is not actively persecuting.
Months after Israel's offensive in Gaza, and the controversy continues, especially over the new role played by the army's rabbis, as seen here in a leaflet obtained by Breaking the Silence, distributed to combat soldiers in Gaza, which carry the logo of the military rabbinate.
I will chase down my enemy and I will not return until he's destroyed, and so on. That's as religious biblical reference as you get.
We don't care what the world thinks about what our land is or what our land is not.
You don't care what the world thinks?
No.
Why?
Because we are a chosen nation, and the world knows that. And God promised us Jerusalem.
Jewish historian Tony Judt wrote in 2006 on Israel's 58th birthday that the country was curiously immature and, quote, consumed by a brutal confidence in its own uniqueness, certain that no one understands it and everyone is against it, and full of wounded self-esteem, quick to take offence and quick to give it, end quote.
Less than 2 hours after your families are evicted, the Israeli police helped more than 20 Jewish settlers move into the now empty properties.
And in this war, the Palestinians in Gaza have nothing. And Israel is one of the strongest states in the world.
For example, instead of having a guard sitting on the wall with Gaza that will shoot at any Palestinian that comes near to the wall, they have a special something weird there that looks like, I don't know, coming from outer space. It's like a sphere, and there are a lot of surveillance cameras inside, and then there are women who sit in a base, an army base inside Israel, far from there, who control these cameras, and when they see something moving, they can shoot it from afar. So they have a room full of people who just control this entire section of the wall with Gaza. The system is called Ro'ayora, which means seeing shooting in the feminine, because it's all women. And it's quite obscene if you think about it.
Could you tell me this then? To us as outsiders, the David and Goliath situation that exists between you and the Palestinians, particularly in Gaza, they don't appear to have an economy. They don't appear to have a society. They don't even appear to have a way of life. And now, in the last couple of months, 80–90% of their homes are destroyed. They have no source of income. This is, I guess, why the world was shocked at the ferocity of your attack on Gaza.
Okay.
Hey, mister, where you heading? Come my way, on heaven. I could kill you if I want to. Wanna try me? Feel like dying, yeah. What's the problem with my soul? Will we ever do it out of this hole? Hey, mister, care to join me? We could go down in history. Life's a black hole, spiraling. We could go there if you love me, yeah. What's the problem with my soul? Will we ever do it out of this hole? Hey, mister, what's your problem? Got some issues? Well, I can solve them. And don't you try to underestimate me.